You ever have that one moment in life where humiliation burns so deep it leaves a scar? Yeah, that was me. Standing in the middle of my office cafeteria, drenched in coffee, shaking from both shock and rage. My name's Lila, and this is the story of how public shaming turned me into someone I never thought I'd become. Someone capable of beautiful, calculated revenge. I worked at this fancy marketing firm in Chicago. Sleek glass walls, people in tailored suits, all pretending to be nicer than they really were. I was new, a small town girl who'd worked her way up through night school, finally landing her dream job. But apparently, being confident and female was enough to paint a target on my back. It started small. Snide comments about my accent, the way I dressed, even my lunch choices. I ignored it until one morning my manager, Brooke, decided to make me the office clown. It was Friday. Everyone was in the cafeteria for Fun Friday, this ridiculous event Brooke hosted to build team morale. We were all sitting there when she grinned and said, "Hey, Lila, you've got that presentation next week, right? Why don't you give us a preview?" I froze. I hadn't prepared anything yet. It was still in progress. But everyone's eyes were on me, waiting. I stood up and started talking. 2 minutes in, people started whispering, laughing. Then, Brooke projected my draft slides onto the screen, the ones I'd saved privately on my drive. She had gone through my files. Everyone saw my rough notes, typos, unedited ideas, and then someone threw a joke about me being unpolished, and coffee spilled across my white blouse. Brooke accidentally bumped into me. Laughter. Phones out. Pictures. It felt like my chest was on fire. I went home that night, humiliated. Couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, just stared at my ceiling, replaying that moment over and over. Then, that's when I realized something. People like Brooke feed on power, public image. She humiliated me publicly because she knew everyone was watching. So, if she wanted an audience, I'd give her one. Over the next month, I played my role perfectly. Quiet, apologetic, harmless. Brooke stopped paying attention to me. What she didn't know was that I had friends in the IT department, people she'd also treated badly. With their help, I accessed the company's public social media content folder, where Brooke stored all her team moments. I found hundreds of staged photos, Brooke pretending to volunteer, fake client testimonials, and internal gossip screenshots she wasn't supposed to share. I built a little website. Nothing fancy, just screenshots, timestamps, and proof of every fake, manipulative thing she'd ever done to her team. I titled it, "The Real Brooke Henderson Behind the Brand." I anonymously sent the link to our company's CEO, the PR department, and my personal favorite, the local business journal that had just named her Manager of the Year. Within 24 hours, chaos. The site went viral internally. Brooke was called into an emergency meeting. Her charity photos turned out to be faked with paid extras. Her volunteer hours, completely made up. By Monday, her desk was cleared. The same people who once laughed at me now avoided eye contact or whispered, "Good for you." No one ever found out it was me. Weeks later, I was promoted. Different manager, same office. On paper, I won. But here's the thing no one tells you about revenge. It feels good at first, powerful, and then quiet. Because when the fire dies down, all that's left is the memory of how small someone made you feel. Still, I'd do it again. Not because it fixed the past, but because it made sure no one else would ever feel that kind of shame in silence. So, yeah, they publicly shamed me, but I made them remember. Sometimes the quiet ones hit the hardest.